we got a brand new sonic screwdriver. Character Options has released the brand new 15th Doctor sonic screwdriver online, and this is the deluxe edition. There's, of course, a standard edition that has a little less sound effects, as you can kind of have the instructions right in there. They did change the packaging from the 14th Doctor Sonic. Instead, the thing is kind of more encapsulated in this plastic ring instead of being more exposed, which I do like. I think it'll protect it a little bit better. As you can tell, got the 15th Doctor, multi-function sonic screwdriver, a little image of the sonic screwdriver right there, TARDIS image, side of Doctor Who logo, and a little informational little text right here, and some of the features. We got light sound effects, of course, swivel out, viewer, and pop out emitter, and this, of course, the deluxe edition. And I also noticed this really cool sticker. I don't think I've ever seen that before on Doctor Who products. That's really kind of cool. Let's take a closer look at this sonic screwdriver, and I am really impressed. I'm not a big fan of this design, but I gotta say, having it in hand, I'm just actually impressed. I think Character really brought this to life, and it is one of the best sonic screwdrivers I think they've made in a very long time. They have perfectly replicated the on-screen prop, but I also think that brings some problems, which we will talk about very soon. But let's talk about some of the cool features. Now, as it said, this thing pops out, and it makes a sound effect. And there's some really great detail right there. And you close it, and it goes off. You press this button, you get the pop-out emitter. Looks really cool. Close it, sound effects. And, of course, this button right here is the normal, that. 1, 2 is that sound effect. 1, 2, 3. Is that one? And there's a secret sound effect if you press this thing 15 times, which I've already done, so I'm going to put that clip right here. One of the features of the Sonic is that it swivels. As you can tell, it goes like this, and then it goes all around. That is really cool, and it's already starting to do it, even just doing this, it is scratching the metallic paint. So I would be very hesitant to keep doing that in the future, because I think it's just going to keep scratching this, because when you flip it around, there is this little part right here, and this thing attracts fingerprints too, by the way. But you can kind of tell this part, I think it scratches against this. So that's kind of a bummer. So I wouldn't really recommend doing that very often. But as you can tell on the backward, it's very cool. We have, of course, some Gallifreyan text right there. Some really great texture work right there. And a really cool gold paint section. And the metallic paint they did is great. But I will say, this swivel, at least to me, feels very loose. I'm a little concerned by that. And, you know, I think this is what's the problem with the sonic screwdriver is I think Character did a really great job, but there's some things that really concern me, and I don't know if they're actually going to get improved with the standard edition that is also out right now. I would have to also get that one, but of course, I would have to import it, and I've already spent a lot on this sonic screwdriver, and there's still some problems with it, so I don't know, it's like, I'm really happy to have it, but I'm kind of disappointed in some of the parts of it. But I really gotta say, the sound effects are really well done. I think this might be some of my favorite sound effects. They don't feel muted. They feel very just loud, and you can hear them, and I just think that's awesome. I also noticed that this stays on for a little bit longer, but also this is a little problem I noticed, is you pop this out, and this is how you get to the battery compartment, and it doesn't turn off until you put it back on. So, yeah, that's a little problem there. But I don't know if it shows. You can kind of start see some scratches and fingerprints of the blue paint right down there. And of course, this section has some great texture. Again, I really like this kind of see-through part of it. And I do like that all of these little buttons have the light effects. So that is really cool. And there's some really great detail with the crystal. So yeah, I think this is a great sonic screwdriver. I think Character definitely replicated the prop really well. I just am concerned about a few things. I'm glad that they did the swivel action, but I think it's scraping the paint. It also feels very loose. I'm a little bit kind of concerned that it's going to break off, which for the cost of this, I don't want to have that feeling that I'm going to break it if I keep swiveling it and I'm going to destroy the paint. But I gotta say, I am so happy to have it. It is long overdue, and you can tell Character put a lot of attention into the sonic screwdriver, and they have definitely worked to make it a very faithful representation of what we saw on screen. And for a person who did not like that sonic screwdriver when I saw it on screen, I will say, in hand as this toy from Character Options, I am actually really liking it. I just love all of this little parts and fidgeting that you can do with it. I just think they could have improved just a few parts of it. And I'm very curious to see what the standard edition is like, and if these kind of problems are going to be worse on that one or better. But of course, the deluxe edition having this metallic paint chipping off and all that was also a concern that I had with the 14th Doctor sonic screwdriver. So it continues on to this one. And I will say, it is weird to have a sonic screwdriver that doesn't really look like a screwdriver and more like this remote control. But that's the design they went with. So what do you all think of the 15th Doctor's sonic screwdriver toy from Character Options? Like I said, I think it's great, but there's a few little problems that do concern me. But I still, just holding in hand, I am really impressed. Well, that's it for tonight. I really hope you all have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone. This part, though, I really wish it just kind of turns off as I'm struggling to get this back on. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I do really enjoy that I can put the sonic screwdriver somewhat back into the packaging, keep it in there, and now it's a bit more protected. It's a little tough to get all of these little spots back in, but at least now it can be stored just a little bit better, which I'm hoping can help the metallic paint just a bit stay preserved.